until that video comes out. Lucky 7 moons. Now, we've had a lot of success with Lucky 7 moons. We've been actually on a downward spiral of burning play points, completely incinerating them. And I'm kind of getting tired of that. So let's go ahead and play a list that we know we've done well. We've 5-0'd with this list, and it hasn't been too long since 5-0ing. And I probably won't change anything to see if we can get back on track with a winning record. Now, what does Lucky 7 Moon do? Well, what it does is 4 Blood Moon effects here, and that's pretty typical. You usually have 4, but we end up increasing this to 7. We have a couple Maguses as well. Otherwise, it's a Karn Chandra package. We'll note that we're playing a little more aggressive, having 4 Chandras over 3 Karns instead of 4 Karns over 3 Chandras. I don't know if this is the right play, but it's been successful thus far. We have Bone Crushers. I've added in a braid because we're starting to see some Hammer Time lists. I have a Kozilek's Return here because we're starting to see some Auriok pieces. And the big question is, would we run into that today? I don't know if we will. If there was a change I would consider is maybe a Boil being added for a Kozilek's Return, maybe an extra Tormod's Crypt, a Welding Jar, many things like this instead of, say, this Damping Sphere. So, let me see if I have a Welding Jar. I don't mind changing a little bit of the sideboard. We'll get the Damping Sphere out for the Welding Jar. I've talked a little bit about how finding a bridge off Karn is actually easily protected right now because not as many people are playing multi-artifact kill spells, so that's pretty cool. I kind of want to throw an extra Boil in here for the Kozilek's Return, and then when we immediately run into Auriok Champion, you can all laugh at me. So we'll make those 2 small changes, but they're sideboard changes. I want to keep the main 60 the same. Onward to Prison, exactly. I hope they're cool thoughts, but I also hope they kind of give you an idea of where we're going here. More aggressive Planeswalkers, Karn here to supplement the toolbox here. We have Blood Moons and Maguses. We have a relatively aggressive sideboard with Rabble Master, but we also have the ones for just boiling out our opponents. Batterskull's been fairly well as our life-gaining card. And with that, I'm ready to play some Magic. Ready to play some Prison. Whoa, all the modern events at the top. All right, let's burn some play points. Thankfully, we kept those 50 play points that we've won over the last 14 leagues. Thank goodness we got there. How's it going, Last God? You're helping us reach our 75 viewer goal. Getting us there. You'll notice we've updated the follower goal as well. A lot of you were telling me to update both of them. I've decided to update one for the time being. I will update the second one if we hit 3 consecutive months in a row, staying above that. And I know we will ebb and flow a little bit above and below, but I can double check on the full month if we've hit our goal or not. So, also I totally ate too fast. My stomach is hurting. This isn't good. Let's play Magic. I'm playing against Cougs. All right. Well, we have a turn 1 Chandra. That's always fun. I think I'll go ahead and ditch the Anger of the Gods to the Gemstone Caverns here. Attempt turn 1 Chandra and then maybe follow up with Bridge. So keep it is. Let's go for it. This is the way we like to go. Did I get a 5-0 with the Jund list? No. Flooded Strand. That's silly. Steam Vents, that's pretty good. I'd like to see a Chalice of the Void here. Plays a Serum Visions. This is interesting. Could be Storm. Then I'll regret not having that Damping Sphere. Immediately take it out, and what happens? Turn 1 Chandra is a good way to start here. Maybe Blood Moon if I saw it. Oh, just do everything. Chandra. Don't force me. Don't force me. Thank you. We're gonna prevent them from turn 2 Emrakul with haste. Defended. I have 0 cards in my hand. That was my turn 1. Feels good. I hope you're control. Serum Visions. Castle's indicating it's potentially control. Breach, perhaps. Looking for Chalice. Chalice on 1 probably locks this up. Reminds me of Affinity. Kinda, doesn't it? Let's go up here. Find the Blood Moon. Anger the gods. We can skip that. Pass the turn. Where's the hand? It disappeared. It got vaporized by flames. Bolts, Chandra. This isn't good. If they have a second bolt here, we lose Chandra. This is why we need the Chalice. Polluted Delta. Snapcaster Bolt. We about to get ruined. One moment. It's been a while since I've played against Fevered Visions. At the beginning of each player's end step. Okay. That player draws a card. Nice. If that player is your opponent and has 4 or more cards in hand, deals 2 damage. 4 or more cards. All right. They draw a card, though. Drawing cards will be good for my opponent. We find another Anger. Uptick. We find a Desperate Ritual. I'm going to cast this and get rid of this Anger and pass the turn. It's 2 damage we don't take, but I'm a little worried about Fevered Visions and whatever they're going to do with that. We're going to draw a card anyway. And this way I don't have the random Anger of the Gods in the hand plus something else, and something that 2 gets through would be a problem. Not playing out the Mana Monkey? No, I just wanted to get rid of the Anger of the Gods. Extra Fevered Visions. Apparently we're getting feverish. Double draws here. Got to keep the hand nice and empty if I can. There's a Blood Moon. Let's go up here for damage and probably play Blood Moon. It's as good as it's going to get. Double draw here. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, Blood Moon resolves. Narset? Ho ho, double bridge. We've got all 3 bridges in the main. Okay. I can empty my hand again. This is what, 2 damage every time? Yeah, it's 2 damage. Don't put another one of these down. Oh gosh. Fires of Invention. This is a really good card for us to see and not at the same time. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Savor the moment with Fevered Visions as your Howling Minds? What are we playing against? Cougs, calm down. I like the Fires of Invention. It means that we don't have typically Force of Negations or counters or anything like that. Seeing a Time Walk, though. Narset. Time Warp was found. Puts that into hand. It's a 5 mana spell. Time Warps. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Okay, they draw cards. They're going off, they are. They stopped my Chandra here. They discarded a Fires of Inventions. This is some spicy taking turns. Oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me with Chandra. I like... Oh my gosh, they're playing Remand with Fires of Invention. This person's a mad person. They're insane. Saber, you may take another turn. I thought I was fine. I was like, oh, it's some janky brew. This isn't janky. This is gonna kill me. Time Warp found. Goes to end step without playing the card. Because they have another turn. Oh my gosh. Plays the land, plays the Time Warp. Well. Well then. What? Oh, hold on. Flying. Return a land you control to its owner's hand. Create a blue illusion. Oh my gosh. Moonfolk. I can't even empty the hand. It attacks under bridge. What is happening? This is crazy. I need them to play more cards here. Can they just play the rest of their cards, please? So I can see everything that's in your list. Returns the land, makes an illusion. This is something. So I'm just gonna put it out there. The list we've been playing against recently have been crazy spicy. Look at this. They can just return and make tons of illusions. And they only need to keep like 3 to 4 lands probably in play for their time warps. This is crazy. I kind of want a list. Fires of Invention, Polluted Delta, Polluted Delta. Please keep playing. Savor the moment. I mean, we can pretty much figure out what's going on here. There's probably 4 Fevered, 4 Fires, maybe 3 Narsets, 2 Chandras, Remands, 4 Savers, 4 Time Warps. We have Jaces in this list too. Oh my gosh. I'm dying. There's a Fevered Visions down here. I kind of want them to just keep playing. Keep putting things out. Returns. Maloku. Attack me for 4 here. Put me to 12. If you're enjoying this, let me know in chat with an emoji. My opponent is going to be taking turn 10 here, using Jace the Brainstorm as well. Fevered Visions. It's Riplock. Oh, they have a Triome. Okay, they have the Teamer Triome. Why do you have green, opponent? What is green for? Chandra Emblem. I'm asking for a list. This is just too cool. Evan, I will immediately donate to Evan. Renin 6. That could be the green. That could be the green. I hate to say the green could be Uro as well, but it could be. It's spicy, all right. I'm trying. Wilderness Reclamation? But that doesn't really make sense with the fires. It can't be green for Wilderness, I don't think, because you have Fires of Invention. You're not really trying to play at instant speed. You're trying to play multiple turns. Bolts me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. It's gotta be Veil, like Renin 6 or maybe Uro, possibly. We've locked them out a little bit with Blood Moon, so it's possible that they had some green in here with, say, some breeding pools that they just haven't played. All right, they just have one more spell that they have to do here. They have 7 cards. I'm sure they can do it. My paper version has Ren also, but don't have the ticks on for it on MTGO. We are assuming green is for Uro or Ren. Well, Boils and Rabble Masters. I need to go fast, plus probably Pithing Needle. I can get rid of the Ensnaring Bridges because they'll make me draw at end step more than likely. So I will have cards that the little flyers can get in through. Chalice feels like it's actually not going to hit like anything but Bolt. I could probably trim some of these. I might just go like without Karn. Like not worry about Karn, trim a few Chalices here. Get rid of an Abrade. Something like this. It's actually just for sideboard online at this stage. I love mainboard anger in your list, by the way. Thanks. Well, we have 7 moons, so that's good for us. I feel like I still want this anger, but maybe I could like put a braid in case they bring in, say, pithing needle here. Yeah, well-timed boils should be pretty good in this matchup, so we're going to definitely go for that. We've got a friend currently. They're chatting with us until we boil them. So boil Rabblemaster, I'm actually not going to even bother, I think, with the Karn. I'm trying to think, would I rather 3 Karns in here versus Pithings and Walking Ballistas? This may be okay to still keep the Karns here with the idea that I can still open up to Liquimetal Coating, which may be important for us. Then I can grab the Pithing Needle off Karn. I guess this is alright, and I can get Chalice if I want it. We'll try it. Karn has a reasonable one. Ah. Yes. I have not put Uro in my paper deck as a matter of principle. I approve this message. Still. All right. We're trying real hard to get this list. I assume you're gonna wipe me post board. Who knows? Incoming 0 lands for 5 moles. Alright, let's play first. Keep. Shall we play a game? This is really weird because like I can rush out this Blood Moon here, but this game is kind of interesting because rushing out the Blood Moon, they just go to fires on turn 4 and then they play Narset and then they make turns. So the question is, do we actually Blood Moon here? It's really tempting to just try to go turn 2 Chandra here. I really want a Moon though. And I think the Moon is still going to be what I play here. Oh no, they have held priority. Turn 3 boil. Who knows? Incoming 0 lands. Maul. Fluffy begins the game with 7 cards in hand. No force, please. Oh, there we go. Blood Moon's the conservative play. I like this opponent too. This guy or gal is really something. All right. Oh, we could have had turn 2 Karn. All right. Now we gotta flood out. Whew. All right. First up's Karn. I think. I don't know. Maybe we don't Karn first. Maybe we Chandra because they might have bolts. Land. Yes. All right. So if we could do Karn down tick, we could start taking them off lands, but it could die. Calico, I will. I think it's going to be Chandra and just start working our way up here. We'll just go for damage and pass turn. Hope we don't go over a boil. Bolt. Ow. Don't do it again. All right. Bone Crusher Giant hits the bin. You think Blood Moon was a mistake? There's a double bolt to our Chandra. Kind of interesting there. Wonder if they have the 3rd bolt. It might have been a mistake. We'll see. Fires? No fires. We're living. We're living. I'm gonna go get a Liquimetal Coating here, maybe? Could get a Batter Skull. They didn't get fires yet. They might just have blue cards here. Let's go for the biggest upside here with the liquid metal coating. I want to get that batter skull in case they have a third bolt, but third bolt's more unlikely than it is the liquid metal coating here. And if they stall out here getting lands because they're not getting to draw with some of their blue cantrippy cards or just blue cards in general, then this liquid metal coating could shut them off. Chandra's frightening, but not that scary. We can go get a Pithy Needle and shut off a land here. They go over a Chandra here up to 5. Ironically, Pithy Needle would shut off our Karn, which is kind of interesting. Wonder if I can wait on that. Like, go ahead and liquid metal coating, shut off a land, kill the land. Not worry about this. They can still make quite a bit of mana. I'm gonna go get the Pithy Needle here. I'm just so afraid of them getting exactly the fire here and then starting their whole ordeal. I like doing an upkeep set stop here, setting it and then shutting off a land and hoping they don't draw a land or fires here. They played Chandra, so they don't probably have fires in hand, so shutting this off is kind of nice. So if they draw it right here, they can't play it. Chandra gives them 2 mana, and that's the reason to go ahead and shut it off right now. All right, we're looking pretty good here. Let's go ahead and kill a land. It's kind of awkward that I'm going to be probably pitching the... that I was gonna pitch the boil here. Maybe I don't want to show them this. I guess we need to just go ahead and show it and just put the fear in them. Put the fear in them. Toss this boil. I don't need this card. Look. Bam. Put this down to pass the turn. What a non-bow. Little do they know that that only just means that we're playing 7 moons plus 3 bonus land killers. 10 land killers. They don't know. They don't know. All right, we're almost outside of bolt range here too. This turn I'm gonna go ahead and kill the Chandra, so if they somehow unlock this, we're good to go. I think we win from here. All right. That's what we call a lock. Ooh, Chandra. Ooh, Seasoned Pyromancer. I have 7 mana too. Chandra uptick, Seasoned Pyromancer, ditch second boil. It's the dagger to the heart that my opponent doesn't deserve. So Pithy Needle naming the Chandra was super important there off the Karn, and playing the Chandra first was probably even more important there, so that the Chandra could be double bolted. They can't let a Chandra take away the game, and they can't expect the Karn to be showing up. Now my opponent's shown us Bolt several times now. Chalice looks a little more interesting, potentially on the draw, as just a way to protect these Planeswalkers that come down just a little bit later. I could probably take 1 Anger out and bring the Chalice in. We had the Anger in here just in case I got that Thopter creating creature, Maloko. Well, this isn't a very good hand. There's three big Planeswalkers here. Opponent mulligans to 6. I think we're gonna join them as well. Down we go. Oh. Opponent mulligans to 5. What do we got here? We have a Chandra, Karn, and I just get rid of a boil. I think I could actually potentially keep this. I'm gonna keep and get rid of a boil. We have an extra one. I don't typically need to. And I don't have the blood moon effect here, but we've got at least the boil. Maloku. I'm being asked for my email. Oh yeah, and realistically, I can play a Seasoned Pyromancer and get rid of dead cards that I draw, or just wait and play just like we did before, Chandra Karn, then Boil. Keeping in mind that Boil, after they play Fires of Invention, could be hilarious. Don't you have a business Fluffy Wolf email? Yeah, it's just fluffywolf2@gmail.com. It's where I send all my stream stuff to. All right, Chalice on 1 doesn't look terrible. Let's go ahead and see about that. Maybe a remand from our opponent. We, after all, did see that in game number 1. We are cracking this. We're not interested in this Chalice on 1, it looks like. Triome, this is an island. That's not looking very good for my opponent. This is an island. I'd love a Simian Spirit Guide or Ritual here. Thank you. We're not going to play anything here because as soon as they jam down the fires here, they can play one thing and then I will boil and they can't counter in response. So our boil here is strictly to completely make fires not useful. Opponent's got a Mystic Sanctuary here. They're looking good. We have a Magus of the Moon. We're going to hold here, seeing if I can get boil to go off. Like I said, I'd like to see that fires come down. Flooded Strand will be getting an island without a doubt. Flooded Strand fetching. Steam Vents. This is their fires. Play the fires. I then have to let the... Oh, you get the Chandra. All right. They can't counter right now because they have just 1 mana here and it's their turn. Goodbye, opponent's lands. Goodbye. This was very mean. I'm probably not getting that email of the list. Yeah, Boyle's a beating there. They forgot to uptick this. They're in absolute shock. They're asking for an oof. Can we get oofs in chat? They forgot to uptick. This game's over. Gonna go Karn. Karn, and I can go get liquid metal coating and shut off the Chandra here. Ooh. You can go get an island. There we go. There's some oofs. Does not make mana here. Goes over the center of the sea. All right, we hit a land here. I think this is make Karn and go get liquid metal coating. Bolt-proof Karn right now, and I can always shut down their either land and or their Chandra here. We'll go ahead and plan to do the land if my opponent fetches, and if they don't, we'll Chandra. This is looking pretty brutal for them. I don't believe they have a way to get back out of this. All right. They don't give me the land here, which is smart. We'll just stop Chandra. We'll be playing Magus next, which should force the Polluted Delta, and if it doesn't, I can use the Karn on here if I'd like to. Let's start with Magus. Okay, let's go up for mana. Let's play a Bone Crusher Giant here. I think I'm going to... I need a down tick with Karn really quick. I think I want to go ahead and get... Let's just get a Batter Skull here. And we'll shut off Chandra once more. We don't need to worry about this one land here. We should be good. We can emblem here. I suppose I could have gotten a welding jar, held the welding jar, and that would have been lethal as well. When you got that needle and not the spyglass. This should be pretty close to dead. I guess I didn't need the batter skull, realistically. Season Pyromancer. I'm going to shoot it at Chandra here. Going to take them off their polluted delta. And then we have lethal next turn. Because I don't have guaranteed lethal here. I don't know what I'm going to get with these two being pitched. I happen to get lethal. We'll go through all the motions here, though. I'm going to go ahead and play this Chalice on 0 or 1. Very cool. Very cool. Red Prison looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Red Prison doing Red Prison things. That's a board state. The rare flawless victory. Hold up. Now they're going to concede. No, don't concede. Let me kill this island. Boil my one island, you coward. I dare you. Okay. Boil my one island. I dare you. I just say, okay, boil. It is so good. Oh, he asked for it. I will give him it. That was fun. Our opponent was a real good sport here. I still think their list is really sweet. They happen to just be against us, who's playing like Red Prison and Boils and Blood Moons and stuff like that. So it's maybe a rough matchup. All right. Oh, they were sweet. We had a good conversation. This is what you want to see. I love the I boil me, I dare you, and we end up doing it. It's just like, this is all you really want. This is all you really want, though. All right. One down. Magic is always fun when the opponent is a good sport. I would agree. Definitely improves the quality of the game as you play. All right, one lander, we can't keep this. We do have 2 Blood Moons and Bridge, but just 1 land. Not good enough. Where's the Mortal Kombat voice when you need it? Keep. I sort of want to have a Chalice and a Moon here. What if I exile Gemstone Cavern, got rid of a mountain, first turn's a Chalice, and then I have both Maguses here? Yeah, I wouldn't. Your zoo deck would struggle against us. Man, how do we play this? We don't have any idea what they're on. It's probably just smarter to go ahead and just get rid of the Magus here. Ritual out a gemstone off of a mountain here. And see if this works for us. Looks like we're good. Love. Let's see if this resolves. They let it resolve, okay. Magus, I would love for this Chalice to get down before an Aether Vial shows up. We're against Spirits. Double Caverns here, attacks for 1, and that's it. Cool. We will slap down the Chalice on 1. This will prevent anything future. We'll go ahead and attack for 2. Pass turn. Back and forth we will go. You respect the Spirits already? I love it. They're attacking me, we're attacking them. I'm gonna hold this bridge until it's needed. I like that we're playing a game. We're swinging back and forth. It's very casual. They're looking for a basic. That's what they're doing. I respect that they didn't want to concede just yet, but the dead. Pithing Needle and a braid. Doo, doo, doo. This is going to be a good card. We're going to try to fetch this with Karn, though. What do we not like here? I don't know. It's a pretty good matchup. I could probably take out 2 Chalices here. A Braid and a Pithing Needle. Let's go for it, right? Chalice is going to either be put on 1 or the Pithing Needle is going to show up. Torpor definitely does. That's why we're going to try to get it with the Karn. If I get lucky enough to get Bridge or Blood Moon down quick enough, then the Karn has time to get the Torpor, and the Karn's going to also stop my opponent's Aether Vials. So the fact that we have 7 Blood Moons here with the Maguses, we should be pretty good. I was going to say, I haven't seen Spirits in a long time. They've run into the wrong opponent here. Our Fires of Invention player first had a better chance than this player, I think. We're lucky that they're playing Spirits too, because that means no Thalia. Man, what I wouldn't give for 1 more land instead of this Karn. I'm going to have to mulligan here. I have to mulligan because I do have a few more non-red lands here. Not going to be worth it. All right, here we have a removal spell. Season Pyromancer. No real lock pieces here. I think we could be more aggressive. Well, I guess it's less likely. Thalia can be main decked in humans. I wonder what I think about this. This is like mildly keepable because of the Bone Crusher Giant. I wish this was in Braid. Let's keep it and get rid of Chandra here. Chandra's not that great in this matchup. See Chrome Croast. There's our Braid. Looking good, looking good. Might be cashing in a quick Season Pyromancer. Spectral Sailor. Completely fine with us so far. Cavern of Souls. Just gonna pass the turn. We know that they have a Hex-proof creature. This is the turn to go ahead and get down the bridge before not Selfless Spirit, before Spell Queller shows up. So this gets us underneath Spell Queller, which is super nice. Otherwise, we had the Abrades and the Bone Crusher Giant, which we just start attacking. This is Rattle Chains protection. Pretty simple here. Cool. All right. That's a basic. Skyclave's pretty good here. Ends up taking my spirits. It's fine. Let's go ahead and play a Magus. A little bit on time. Extra planes here, really good. They double down on their planes. They attack with everything. I'm gonna go ahead and leave myself with a Braid and Bone Crusher Giant here. Let's go ahead and attempt to abrade the Rattle Chains. And I think, or sorry, Bone Crusher there. And I think I wanna just abrade the Spectral here. And we're gonna take the 2, but that's because I can actually block this Spirit. Pithing Needle is super good here. We can name Aether Vial. And then we will use Seasoned Pyromancer to draw into new things. Play our land, pass turn. I'm really afraid to attack with the Magus right now, so I'm just not going to bother doing that. New Skyclave. Cool. New Skyclave gets rid of Magus of the Moon. Pretty nice for them. No attack. We hit another ritual effect. Not ideal. All right, this is the scary turn now that they've got everything unlocked. We didn't find another Blood Moon, unfortunately, in that case. So they've got plenty of stuff that can attack us here. They put a Spectral Sailor into play and they can get their Anthem creatures. They can get Spell Quellers now. They can get all kinds of stuff. To me, I would love to see them kind of boost these creatures and to find myself a bridge off the top if possible. Shacklegeist plus Dragskull Captain taps down and attacks us for a bunch. So we need probably Anger or Bridge. We don't see either of these and they have some flyers, so we'll concede and go to game 3. There's a bridge, a few down. All right, we know this Torp Orb is good, but I'm going to be on the play this time. I still think I go try to fetch it with a Karn. 3 hits is a heck of a lot better than the Singleton. Plenty of Blood Moons. We'll just run it. If you start seeing more Skyclaves, replace Welding Jar with a Spellskite. That would be a way to get around that. Is this flooding like 5 Moon? No, this one's behaving properly. The 5 Moon list was ridiculous. All right, non-accelerated Blood Moon here. We do have Karn. I have 9 hits to find acceleration here. I actually don't mind this hand. I'm gonna keep it because I'm on the play, which means the Blood Moon is likely to come down. It felt so bad. It did. It did. It's nothing we could control. Just unfortunate. I like having Blood Moon plus Karn here. This gets us Torpor. Blood Moon stops lands. This stops Aether Vial. It's kind of like the do-all package. Good luck, opponent. Coast. Do we see Vial? The answer appears to be no. Calcium loves Spell Queller. There's the Aether Vial. All right. Not the worst thing for us to see, for sure. You have it in Legacy. It's definitely popular in Legacy, that's for sure. All right, Waterlog plus Seachrome and the Aether Vial. Well, we're just going to play a Blood Moon on time. We'll see if they have any counters. Usually Spirits doesn't necessarily, but Celestial Purge would do it. They Waterlog Grove, though. That's good for us. They get something on 1, then potentially something on 2. What's quirky about the Karn here is that whatever they put on 2, it may kill our Karn. Attacks for 1. This is a very good card to follow up here with. We get to Karn here pretty safely. I'm going to go up with the Karn, not on the Aether Vial initially. And then next turn, I will go up on the Aether Vial and kill it with the Anger of the Gods. This shouldn't be able to kill or counter our Anger of the Gods here. They must be running Force. They might. Attacks 1 at Karn here. Seems safe so far. 1, 2. I can get a Blood Moon and Seasoned Pyromancer next turn. I don't need to really try to kill this. That's probably super greedy. I'm trying to think of a way to get this off so that I only have the anger the one time. Let's just go up here and kill this. I could see them playing like Rattle Chains at end step here, which does 2 to Karn, and then I can empty the hand pretty nicely. Make me pay for this. Good move. And we get it. And we get it. They probably have white cards in hand. This, we end up top decking a Chandra. Chandra is an easy play, an uptick for Seasoned Pyromancer, draw 2 new cards and go from there. Spirits. Getting locked out by many blood moons. Looks like 7 moons doing what it needs to. Finding our opponent immediately. Let's play some more Magic. Seven is definitely an oh, look at this one. We're going to keep this. You know what's really cool about this hand? Is if my opponent gets force, well, then they got us. Otherwise, turn 1 Blood Moon. Yeah, 7's been feeling really, really good. I think 6 is fine, too. I think you can play 4, but you're just not going to get these Blood Moons as quick as possible. And I think what we've been running into lately, it just makes a lot of sense to be playing more Blood Moons. We're trying to really hinder our opponent's mana, if we can. And they're holding priority. All right, Blood Moon is down. A basic swamp. Thought seizes me. All right, you take one of these. I got the other one, though. Just be the rack, please. Just be the rack. Not Black Devotion, please. All right, Chalice is down. Marsh Flats, Channeler, all right. Land? Ugh. Okay. Channeler gets to get them through some of the cards they might have. Liliana's really bad for us to see here. My opponent had 2 basic swamps. They're Rakdos mid-range, maybe sporting Lingering Souls. All right, we need to hit land. After land, we need to hit Karn. After Karn, we need to down tick, get Liquid Metal Coating to get rid of the Liliana from killing me. It's gonna be rough. Kroxa here and a Mountain. They can play that Kroxa. They actually have the mana to put Kroxa into play as well. If my opponent upticks Liliana, they lose their last card, which is probably not a problem for them. They don't uptick. We end up hitting a land, which is really important. Cool. All right, they like that card, whatever it was. Utilizes Channeler here, getting Seasoned Pyromancer plus Blood Moon. Plays Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, the current meta, turn 1, turn 2, Blood Moons are definitely really good. On my website, I gave them a higher ranking than I would normally give Blood Moon, and that's why we're playing more of them. All right, Liliana at 5 here, going up to 6 is a problem for us because now it's in that territory where it can do its ultimate. Separating Bridge, Blood Moon, and maybe lands. What I would do here is I'd put Kroxa into play for my opponent. And then just suit up to swap basically bridges or lands is what I would do. Yeah, the Liliana is dangerous. They ended up getting this because of the double swamp. Blood Moon came down immediately and then didn't do enough because my opponent had this. If I didn't have the Chalice on 1, I could literally go get a Pithy Needle right here. Well, we'll play Karn. I wonder if I can put something into hand that will make them very interested in getting rid of it. Croxa attacking gets rid of it unless they keep bridge. I don't know if I can really get much here. I'm gonna go ahead and go get my pithy needle. Maybe my opponent gets like greedy for some reason and like doesn't split chalice properly here. I expect this to do separate and then just putting bridge on one side and like everything else on the other is what I'm thinking they're gonna do. Here we go. Best split here would basically be drop bridge, maybe even the chalice. What if I just keep the bridge? I've done this before. Keep the bridge, find a top deck land. Let's sacrifice this pile. If I don't, I'm taking 6, 7, 8, 9-ish damaged. 10, 11, 12, not really, but 10, 11, 12 the next turn, probably. Extra Lily, so they get rid of the Pithy Needle as well. All right. They ended up top decking a Lily at some point there. I suppose they don't want to uptick the Liliana going forward here. Fetching Blood Crypt, fetching Blood Crypt, thinning out their library a little bit. Chalice on 1 getting us here. Tax for 1 puts me to 12. The next separation's a nothing. I mean, I'm probably going to get a land, right? We'll probably get a land, which we'll play at some point. Bonus bridge. Now they can attack me for 3. 4, 5. This makes this a 3-turn game. We're doing the streaming. Streaming on Wednesday. I think if I don't hit a land here, I'll concede here and go to game number 2. Okay. Lily gets us. Lily gets us. All right. So Chalice is pretty decent still to have, but I'm kind of thinking that I want to not play the Chalice. We'll probably, though, get rid of these Maguses of the Moon first and then 1 Chalice, but I could see the Chalice being a thing we could not play. Oh, we don't talk about Fluffy Wolf 1. So, any other changes? Probably not. This is definitely one of the harder matchups when we're running so many moons. And I think it was, what, Sam was saying that they thought 7 was a sweet spot. And this is the list that makes me think that's not quite correct. Whenever we run into this kind of opponent, just having so many blood moons, it's good. And we keep some. You'll notice I'm keeping at least 4. Because you can shut them off double black for Croxa or double black for Liliana. That's definitely a thing. But do you need this many? And do you need the ones that are easily taken care of by Bolt? The answer is usually no. Look at Nightbot's reminder. All right, we'll keep this. It's an aggressive hand. We have to just be okay with committing with whatever here. I'm expecting Thoughtseize. Nightbot needs the hydrate, right? This is gonna be a tough one. This could be our first loss tonight. I did not misplay because I had a Chalice on 1. Thanks for the follow. We were regretting that we had put Chalice on 1. Not that we expected by turn, what, 6, 5 or whatever it was, that I would be in a position where that would matter. Interestingly enough, this Scavenger Grounds has value here. Ooh, no turn 1 play. Interesting. All right, let's go. Willing to bet Fatal Push or Bolt exist for my opponent. We're still going to go ahead and try to do this Rabble Master. We do attack. This is interesting. Does not have Bolt. Very interesting. Does not have Fatal Push either. This would be gone if they did. Basic Swamp here for my opponent. What's on 2 here? Must have Channeler or something. And a Braid. All right. Sounds good. We're going to follow up with another Rabble Master here. I see that I've drawn a Seasoned Pyromancer, but I don't want to get rid of really the Karn or the Chandra. But if I do top deck a non-land here, I might go ahead and go for this to then try to find my way to one of these. Inquisitions. All right, we're taking Seasoned Pyromancer. This is a good sign here. They're still not killing Rabble Master. Liliana looks really silly. What else you got? At this point, I'll probably play Chandra just to continue to apply pressure. This is the example of where when we were talking about Karn versus Chandra, we want Chandras because our aggressive line is coming out of the sideboard, so it's good to have a little bit of that pressure main board. Hey, thank you for the follow. Everybody, thank you for the follow. I'm getting a few of them here during this match where we're struggling, but maybe I'm dropping some good ideas. Engineered on 0 to get rid of tokens. Oops. It's interesting right here. Let's go to combat here. They should pop this now-ish. They allow me to attack. Okay. Here we go again about having the Chalice. Wonder if I should put the Chalice on 1 to prevent a Bolt from killing Goblin. I have a feeling they have Liliana down tick here. If we would have drawn that land, we would have been able to get this through. Opponent attempts a Thoughtseize and fails due to Chalice. This could be fine though, because they could have a Channeler right after this, which would mean I want Chandra down tick, kill Channeler. They make a sacrifice here with the Angrath's Rampage. All right, we'll play Bridge here. It's not a bad card to have drawn. Gives us a little bit of protection. We're both missing out on our land drops. This isn't very good. I really don't want to see a Liliana here. I see you, Liliana. I'm still going Chandra, I think. Because I can race Liliana. Channeler, I'm going to play Chandra down tick on Channeler. No, I'm not. I'm going to hold the second bridge here in case my opponent finds Liliana. All right. Filtering out here, pitching a Bolt, getting a Liliana and a Mountain. They'll probably play that Liliana now. We have the bridge to get rid of, which is nice. So when we play a land, the unfortunate thing is that we only get to pick one of these because they'll uptick again. And I don't think the answer is Karn here. We just won't find a land though. Not a lot I can do if I'm not going to find the lands. We're on turn 7 for them, which was turn 7 first for me. Opponent has another Liliana. I would potentially just uptick, get rid of a card, uptick again, get rid of a card. But they decide taking Bloodstained Mire is fine here. It's reasonable. Uptick, I'll get rid of my Anger. I suppose in this instance, Karn's starting to look a little bit better here. 4 mana, we do have a Kroxa here. I have the Scavenger Grounds, but I really can't use it because I need the 4th land. So Liliana's at 5. What ends up happening here, if I do Chandra now, is my opponent just upticks twice and gets us. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the Chandra, hoping I find this final land and have Karn, which we don't. All right. So it looks like we're going to lose this one. Chandra goes up one more time. Or sorry, Liliana goes up one more time. Opponent finds 2 lands here. This goes up. We get rid of Chandra again. We can play Karn, but they're going to just do the split like they did last time with Bridge. I could hang on to a Chandra and go up 1 to put it at 6, but the way they're going to split, it's just going to be the Bridge. We'll go ahead and Desperate Ritual. This is a turn late, though. Wish I had a different blocker. Let's go get the Bridge. Let's go get a Welding Jar, you know? This doesn't really do a whole lot. My opponent will downtick here, Bridge, and everything else. I suppose I keep the Bridge again. It's my only chance here, because otherwise I'm taking 13 damage and then 13 again. Give me Chalice plus Bridge here. It's interesting. That's really kind of them. They know about the Pithing Needle, so they don't actually want us to have that option as an out. If only player damage could still be rejected to Planeswalkers. That really did nerf Chandra quite a bit for us. Alright, Rakdos midrange definitely should win this one. That being said, the Channeler is a 4/4. Incoming K command, blow this up, deal damage. 2 lands off the Channeler. They pitched a Pithing Needle, which is kind of interesting. Alright, we found Karn. Yeah. Let's see if we can flood out here a little bit. If we can flood out, we got a shot. But it goes down to 7. They're going to be digging for whatever answers they have for this, which was a Braid is one thing we saw, but I'm expecting a K command as well. Pitches the card in hand. Thinking about it. They find a Seasoned Pyromancer plus Marsh Flats. They'll play Seasoned Pyromancer, picking up 2 brand new cards. They ended up ditching a Engineered Explosives, which could have gotten rid of Chalice. Now we're in a little bit of trouble here, because if I don't find lands, Seasoned Pyromancer is going to kill us. Still not finding lands. So even though we had the 3 lands here, we're on turn 11 and still have only found 3 lands. Keeping in mind that these were the only 3, Scavenger, Mountain, Mountain. We ended up getting that Karn off of a Desperate Ritual. New Croxa. Kind of okay with them playing this new Croxa here, because I can't cast either of these. In some ways, I don't think they should be playing this. I'm going to get rid of the Rabble Master. The Karn has so much more upside if we flood out. Alright, they have an extra Liliana. But choosing not to uptick. Kind of interesting. You play Croxa, but don't uptick the Liliana. That's where I don't get it. You would just attack with a Seasoned Pyromancer. You're giving me a shot at drawing a land there. Attacks for 2. Follows us up with a new Seasoned Pyromancer. And we can probably just send this game away. I don't see us coming back with the Rakdos player here. It's an Anger of the Gods. If I were to hit a land, I could land and Chalice. We're taking 4, going to 12. Going to be taking 6 soon here. So 6, 12, 13. So it's 13 across the next 2 turns here. And I can't get rid of these cards for at least 3 turns. So opponent's got it. Anyway. They just attack us 3 times. We have a 3 mana spell here, and we're just never getting out of this. There you go. All right. Well, Rakdos takes us down here. Still 2-1 currently. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Probably our worst matchup playing the 7 Moon variation. Chalice on 1 cost us game number 1. It's kind of interesting because we put that there to protect our hand from Inquisition and Thoughtseize. And if I had a Spyglass, it wouldn't have mattered because my opponent could react before because I only had 1 extra mana. That's the whole Karn, and then playing a 2-drop is sometimes really hard in the same turn. It's not always plausible. All right, we're 2-1. My opponent's 1-0. We played this person yesterday. Pretty sure. The icon looks familiar, the avatar. All right, we have a turn 2 Season Pyromancer, Bridge, or Blood Moon. We'll keep this. This is a good little starting hand for us. Opponent kept 7 as well. A little Arid Mesa for our opponent. So I can give them white. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for this. Just play a Blood Moon here and see if they have anything in response. If they have white mana, they're going to go fetch for it. They're a burn player. They do kind of need both colors. There's something else. Who knows what they'll do. Goes and gets a Steam Vents here, which then becomes a mountain. Interesting. Interesting. All right, we're going to need a land here soonish. Manamorphose. All right, Bridge is exceptionally good here against Prowess. Stormwing's a good one. Would love to get this Bridge down sooner than later. I'll take a Chalice before a land, but I prefer a land. Definitely would not prefer Chandra here. So against our opponent, if we knew that they were on Prowess, the Arid Mesa disguised this a little bit. If we knew they were on Prowess, we probably would have used the Season Pyromancer. This is the other matchup where we can take Blood Moon out completely. Plays another Stormwing. The other way we lose this pretty easily is they just play a bunch of Stormwings around Chalice. All right, best draw here's land, and then Season Pyromancer, getting rid of 2 Chandras probably. It's an okay draw. I need my opponent to not kill me here, which is unlikely. Although that's a lot of lands for my opponent. All right, Bolt Me plus triple Prowess, so that's 6 damage, putting me to 10, and my opponent has 10 on the board. No, they need 1 more, sorry. 1 more spell, all right. Light at the stage does it. Ay. All right. Well, basically, we're going to take out as many of the Blood Moon effects as we can. Braids and Rabble Masters come in for this matchup. They do have Batter Skull, which is super nice. We'll be trying to get that off Karn. Welding Jar is pretty good for the Abrade. This is the matchup where they'll probably have Shattering Spree. Them having Shattering Spree here is a little bit frustrating for our Chalice. It'll get through to the bridge we have. So probably just this though. Trimming the Blood Moon effects. Trying to be aggressive or create blockers here. Simple enough, right? Right? You don't keep the Maguses in because the Blood Moon can be a little bit frustrating for them with their Fiery Islets and some of their Blast Zones and things like that that they might play. And so you keep something in that's a little harder to get rid of than just a Magus. Boil's not worth it against Prowess. They won't play that many islands. And they have Manamorphose for their basic mountains. But no, you wouldn't. Boil is not for a Prowess matchup. don't bring this card in. Boil is for the control matchups. For Uro matchups. That's what it's for. Alright, helps if we get more than one land. Let's mulligan. It does make bridge better every time we do mulligan. Alright. This will work. Give a Chalice on 1 very quickly. Probably just hold on to the Anger because it's better than Bone Crusher Giant. I like this. Let's keep. And we'll rush out the Chalice here. We want to rush out the Chalice because I don't want to be dealing with a Swift Spear. Get the feeling people see blue, want to boil. Has brought out the hate blue crowd in Modern. Maybe so. Maybe so, MTG Nexus. A lot of people see any island and just immediately want to bring in the boil. And boil really waters down what you're trying to do. It's really just to clear the way on your opponent's turn if you can. My opponent's mulliganed to 5, now 4. It's rough for them. It's going to be really rough with us playing a Chalice on 1 as well, I think. Cool. Wonder if I hold bridge until I see a Shattering Spree, get rid of this. I don't know. I'm very, very timid to that possibility. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to win the game for us because that's happened before where I get a Chalice down and then Stormwing should just show up. Wooded Foothills here, Steam Vents for our opponent. We do need a 3rd land. Double lands for my opponent. Here comes Stormwing. I move Anger up to the front here because I'd rather try to kill the Stormwing than just have a bridge protecting. All right, our 2 lands are just going to sit here. We need 1 more to really start unlocking our hand. My opponent has more. They have more. Lights the stage and finds 2 Soulscar Mages. Those are currently countered by Chalice. About that finding that land. About finding that land. Alright, looks like my opponent's going to do nothing here. They're hiding at the bottom? Don't say that. Draw a Rabble Master. Still doing nothing. Marauder Otter, what's up? 6 months. Half a year. Welcome back. Fiery Islet cracked here. Blood Moon's gonna go back here. I'm gonna play Rabble Master as my first card whenever, you know, we draw a land. By the way I'm kind of ordering things is how I want to play them out, right to left. If you're ever wondering why I'm shuffling the cards around and placing them places, it's typically that. Lava Dart signals that my opponent probably has the Stormwing finally and needed to play a spell and then get to play Stormwing. What's up? All right, this is a problem card for us considering we've now drawn up to 7 and still looking for our land. We miss a land drop here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Karn here because Karn's the weakest card here in our hand. We'll take that land anytime it wants to give it to us. Opponent abrades the Chalice. Now we're in trouble. Attacks for 4. Looking for that land. There we go. All right, we'll attempt an Anger here first, just trying to clear the Stormwing. They can Lava Dart or use the spell in hand. My opponent opts. This is one thing being used defensively rather than offensively. Bridge really isn't doing anything right now. If we do top deck a land here, I might play Chandra attempting to kill Stormwing again as well. Willing to buy MTGO Shuffler. Bolts us down to 13. We have 4 coming through, puts us to virtual 9. Virtual 5. Down to 5. Go, go, go. Down to 1. All right, our opponent gets us. We find our third land here on turn, what was it, 8? And they end up getting rid of my Chalice at some point. So this is kind of the interesting piece about having prowess. So if you play the 7 Moon variant, you're going to run into occasionally a red deck that just doesn't care. Now, Rakdos midrange cares a little bit about it, and so does Rakdos Shadow Prowess. Shadow Prowess cares about it because they try to get like a Blood Crypt, they're trying to fetch, they're shocking to get down to Shadow, and if you can prevent a Scourge from coming out, you're doing pretty good. What's interesting about the Prowess list is that a Chalice on 1 can really, really stop them, but if you ritual out that Blood Moon, and then they just start playing their burn spells, you have a really low chance of winning game 1. Game 2, they know exactly what you're doing, and they can kind of play around it, I've noticed. So if you have a lot of prowess in your meta, don't play the 7 Moon variant. Ever since they've gotten off of Obosh and they go more that Blitz version, it's been very hard to kill them with the 7 Moons. All right, that makes us 2-2 though. Got one more match here. Let's see if we can get a winning record. We've been struggling lately, and I think this has got to be it. We had a really good match 1, and match 2 was kind of a wash. Match 3 was unfortunate, and match 4 was perhaps unfavored based on what I'm saying about prowess. 2-2 versus 1-1. We get to play first. All right, we have a fast bridge plus anger. Let's give this a shot. I like seeing enough lands here, considering I've been struggling with lands all night long so far. So let's give ourselves a shot here to get a quick bridge or a quick removal spell if need be. Lead with Gemstone, trying to hide some of that information. It doesn't hide that much though. This is Red Prison after all. Mono Red Prowess is too popular in your meta. So you could play more Bridges main and get rid of the Karn package completely. And you could do something like that. All right. We're going to Desperate Ritual out the Blood Moon to shut this opponent off black and hope it's enough. We'll talk about what you should maybe do instead if you're struggling against Prowess. We'll work our way up to Bridge. Luckily, Karn next. My opponent looks like potentially Rakdos midrange, so we may get a repeat here. Concealed Courtyard's typically not in that. Let's play a Karn here. Let's go get a Liquid Metal Coating. Pass the turn. This is within bolt range now, making it kind of interesting. All right, opponent concedes. So my best bet is that they're not Rakdos midrange now. They're more of probably Mardu or black-white splashing red for something. And I only say this because Rakdos midrange would be completely fine with a Blood Moon and playing this out for a little bit longer. They also didn't lead with Thoughtseize. Could have just been unlucky. With that being said, probably don't have too many changes here. I think I want to get rid of the Bone Crusher Giants for some Rabble Masters. I'm going to cut an Anger for an extra Rabble Master, and then I'm going to bring in an Abrade over Anger. And let's do one Chalice out, one Bone Crusher Giant in. Kind of a mixture. This is just like a gut feeling type of sideboard here, just because we didn't get a whole lot of information. I'm assuming they're like a Mardu type of thing. Sarias 21, thank you for the Gaming Prime. And welcome. These sweet emotes that you get to use all over Twitch. Plus we have our Discord. For those that have been subbing, Discord's available to you all. Have you played around with the God mode accounts in MTGO? No. I don't get the God accounts. All right, my opponent's mulliganing to Oblivion. They're down to 5 cards. They're going to 4. This may be a non-game here. Down to 3. We don't even have Blood Moon. See how scared they are? They're so scared. Down to 3 cards. Don't assume we always have Blood Moon. It's a bad assumption. Just try to play around it if you can. All right, Godless Shrine for my opponent. Not going to worry about a Chalice on 1. My opponent mulligan to Oblivion here. Isolated Chapel and a Dark Confidant's an interesting one here. All right, let's go ahead and get the Seasoned Pyromancer down. Chandra and Bridge away. End up picking another Chandra. All right, Marsh Flats. I'd love to get rid of the Dark Confidant. The reason for playing the creatures here is to get aggressive against my opponent. I don't feel like I need this bridge, although based on kind of what we're seeing, maybe we should have it here. Let's go ahead and attack with all of what we've got here. This Marsh Flats was played. You miss playing Magic at your LGS? I think a lot of us probably do. I guess I'll play Chalice on 1. So I wonder what the Blood Crypt's for now that I'm seeing basically black-white. Channel Fireball responded the other day that they currently have no in-person events planned for 2021. I'm maybe not entirely surprised by that. I think we're going to be looking at 2022. And if things are looking pretty good, I'd love to see Wizards and like some of the big events try to throw some really big fun ones. I would hope they could, but we'll see what the future looks like. I was thinking the other day they should ban Simian Spirit Guide and Gemstone. There's so many other things that are... All right, it wasn't going to hit anything, but they go ahead and Inquisition. There's so many other egregious things that are going on in Modern that I don't think that would matter. Don't worry, Amazon is opening an LGS in your area soon. Nice. There's red again. We have an extra Dark Confidant here. It's kind of interesting. I could go get Walking Ballista and take care of both of these pretty smoothly. I could also Chandra downtick on one of these. I think it's Chandra downtick on one of these. The double draw here is kind of frightening. So let's go ahead and get rid of one Dark Confidant. My opponent has no cards in hand, so playing in this fashion means we're limiting how much my opponent is getting to draw. I can then follow this up with Karn, uptick the Chandra, and get a Walking Ballista to shoot this. And follow it with Chandra afterwards. We've been doing small meetups for Underground Paper Modern. Oh, Disenchant. Oh, snap. I think if you have your like bubble of friends that you all know and trust where everyone's going, and then if someone goes outside and like has to go do something, they just respect everybody else and say, hey, I was out, I've got to go through like a little bit of a quarantine and be just this as safe as you can. I think that's all fine. Oh, Judith. Oh my gosh. Man, I wish I had my Angers now. They'll all know what you're running. When your Fluffy Wolf 2 playmat hits the battlefield. I can respect that. All right. Let's play Karn. We're going to go ahead and go down tick here. My opponent has a disenchant that I'm really not too worried about. I'm going to use this to get Walking Ballista, use mana from Chandra, and play Walking Ballista and shoot Dark Confidant. This gives me an extra usage out of Chandra this coming turn. And I have the block with Seasoned Pyromancer, which feels fine, and this prevents my opponent from drawing too much. Steals 1 damage somewhere, and I don't really care where it's going. You need to playmat and then run Green Tron, do it. I would respect that. Disenchant in my opponent's hand, they give up. We have double Planeswalkers here, plus blocker. That gets it there. 3-2, Lucky Moon. Lucky 7 Moon. In Modern. Mardu, I guess. I'm not really sure, other than I guess Judith there for red from our opponent. Probably made a few miss sideboards there in the final game. But sometimes you just don't know, because Blood Moon kind of prevents you from finding out that information. List is doing well. Rakdos mid-range is going to be difficult. Rakdos Prowess is a bit easier to deal with because you have Chalice and it's a little more impactful than against the mid-range. Mid-range typically has Liliana, which has kind of always been a little bit of a problem card. I want to play the mid-range matchup, know it's mid-range, and not do Chalice on 1. I don't think I need to be worried about Bolt as often as I tend to against that matchup. Prowess was difficult. Prowess with a Chalice on 1 in game 1 is just like Burn. It's just a new flavor. The cool thing about the flavor, though, is that Burn can easily kill us with quick creatures or whatever. And if you don't have that Chalice, you'll lose, where actually Prowess does care about bridge a little bit, and so you get to use more lock pieces, so that's kind of nice. Knowing that my opponents can work their way around our lock. 7 Moons doing what it needs to. I would probably play 7, or I would be okay with 6 Moons here in Modern currently. I think that's what you should be playing. We'll eventually trickle back down to probably the 4 Moons, 3 Bridges, and 4 Chalices. But for right now, until we see what the next set brings and adjust in Modern, I think this is what you should be playing. 7 Moons. They're lucky in Modern.